You are disciplined. Seriously, you really are. You have no bad debt, you have savings, and you pay every bill on time every single month. That describes you perfectly. You think you are on the right track, mastering your financial game. You are waiting for time to reward your hard work with the best deals from the bank. You are absolutely right that this is what you deserve after years or even decades of persistence and discipline. But here is the cold, hard truth. The financial system is silently punishing you for being too clean, and you won't even realize it until you actually reach the gates of the system. The system that frees you from the things draining your pocket day by day without you even knowing. Imagine Max, a version of yourself. Max believes that controlling debt and limiting the number of cards he has is a sign of strength. But in reality, Max is falling into a trap called a thin file. While Max is proud of owing no one, the algorithms behind the big banks are devouring his balance through the loans Max will need for his future. Buying a newer house, a more comfortable car when he becomes a father, they see Max's safety as a potential risk because of the lack of data. The result? Every home or car loan Max takes out gets hit with a few extra percentage points in interest. Numbers Max thinks are just a fact of life, or that he hasn't reached the threshold for better rates yet, or that he just needs to try harder to earn a better number. The truth is, he isn't wrong, you aren't wrong, and honestly, none of us are. Disciplined consumers aren't doing anything wrong, but we and millions of others out there have been led down a different path. A path where every stretch has toll booths swallowing the cash in Max's wallet, and our wallets, and we happily accept it. The truth is often worse than that. It's a dull ache, a financial trap, swallowing thousands of dollars that we simply do not deserve to fall into. We aren't bad enough to suffer this. Today, I'm going to help Max, you, and millions of others smash that trap with a system that the top 1% and millions who understand the rules are quietly using behind the scenes. The 5% system. Most of us look at a credit score as a moral certificate. You pay on time, you're a good person. You control how many cards you open. You set up regular payment dates. You're disciplined. This is completely true, at least from your perspective, like a savvy modern consumer, or so you thought. But in reality, a credit score doesn't measure your kindness or your wealth. It is decision architecture, a system that measures your profitability for the bank based on risk. The biggest mistake is believing, I don't have debt, so my score will be high. Wrong. For example, imagine you go to borrow a book from the library. If you've never borrowed a book before, the library doesn't know if you're someone who keeps books clean or someone who tears pages. Because there is no data, they will make you pay a higher deposit or only let you borrow old books. In finance, this is called timing misalignment. You are using a past accumulation mindset to solve a future problem. To reach financial enlightenment, you need to stop seeing your credit score as a static number and start seeing it as mechanical levers, where you just need to pull the right lever and the whole machine works in your favor. And what you're looking for right now is a map to that magic lever. To change your financial destiny, you need 4 pillars: knowledge plus plan, plus time, plus belief. Many people have knowledge, but they lack a sequential plan. They have time, but they lack the belief that the system can be steered. I'm here to tell you that you, Max, and all of us can possess those things right now. By the end of this video, you will break free from the old cookie-cutter thinking you've followed for years. You will no longer have to dream the dreams the financial system wants you to see. You won't have to walk in a field that financial institutions have zoned for you. You will pick up the pen and redraw your own balance sheet, mapping out your own garden and your own farm where you are the one in charge. To reach that freedom, you first need to know exactly who you are up against. FICO. You have probably heard that name at least once in your life. But have you ever actually wondered what the heck FICO is? Don't let that academic-sounding name fool you. Imagine FICO is like a referee in a soccer game where you were never given a rulebook. He stands there, quietly watching your every move and every touch of the ball. But he is not there to make the game fairer or to help you play better. He is there to catch your misconceptions and your silly mistakes, then silently write them down in a black book and punish you with sky-high interest rates, even when you have no idea what you did wrong. Let me tell you a story about Bull and Bear. Bull and Bear both want to borrow 500 fish from Chimp, the most cunning and experienced lender in the jungle. Chimp looks at Bull's file, gives a friendly smile, and says, "Since you are very disciplined with your payments, I will give you a special deal with an interest rate of only 10%. Bull is over the moon. He thinks this is the best bargain in the jungle because he has seen other animals out there having to borrow at 12% or 14%. Bull is proud of his discipline, but Bull has no idea that right after him, Bear, someone who truly understands the rules of the game, walks in and borrows the same 500 fish, but Chimp only dares to offer him a 4% interest rate. Why is there such a cruel level of discrimination? Why does a disciplined bull have to pay double the interest compared to Bear? The answer lies here. Bear's credit score had a qualitative leap because he understands the inner workings of the FICO algorithm. Meanwhile, Chimp and the other financial hawks out there never want you to know this. They want you to remain a happy bull in the 10% interest pasture that they have already fenced off. You don't fight back. You don't ask questions. You just quietly sacrifice your hard-earned fish to the system. So what exactly is FICO that makes it so powerful? Technically speaking, FICO, Fair Isaac Corporation, is a probability model. More specifically, it predicts the probability that you will be 90 days or more past due on a payment within the next 24 months. Remember this clearly. It does not care how much money you have in the bank. You could have $1 million in cash, but if you don't know how to showcase your debt data, your FICO score can still be a total disaster. It is just like applying for a job. Your degrees and actual skills are one thing, but how you write your resume to get past the AI automated filter is a completely different story. If you know how to optimize the ingredients in the FICO stew, you will turn yourself from a naive bull into a powerful bear in the eyes of lenders. This algorithm is made up of 5 core pieces that you absolutely must memorize. Payment history, 35%. This is the mirror reflecting your past. Just one time forgetting a payment for over 30 days will leave a scar on your record for up to 7 years. This carries the most weight because banks believe how you do one thing is how you do everything. Amounts owed, 30%. This is the battlefield of the 5% system. Banks don't look at the dollar amount you owe, they look at the ratio. If you have a $1,000 limit and you spend $900, you look desperate for money. But if you spend $50, you look like you are in control of the game. Length of credit history, 15%. Time is the answer to trust. An account opened for 10 years is always more reputable than one opened yesterday. This is why we should never close our oldest credit cards. Credit mix, 10%. Banks want to see that you are an all-rounder. You can manage both revolving credit, credit cards, and installment credit, car loans, mortgages. This proves you can adapt to many different types of financial pressure. New credit, 10%. Every time you apply for a new loan, a hard inquiry appears. If you open too many accounts in a short time, the algorithm triggers an alarm. This person is in trouble and needs cash fast. The truth is, FICO does not measure how wealthy you are. It measures how safe you are for the bank's profit. If you clearly understand these 5 pieces and know how to showcase them skillfully, you will no longer have to beg for low interest rates. Instead, the banks themselves will have to compete to lend you money. Do you want to continue being a happy bull with a 10% rate? Or do you want to be the second bear who owns the game with a 4% rate? That choice depends on whether you dare to smash your old illusions to get closer to the 5% system. Now for the most important part, the 5% system. Usually, amateur financial advisors will tell you, keep your card usage under 30%. Those who are a bit better will say under 10%. But deep data optimization studies point to a different truth. If you use 0%, don't use the card, the system sees you as inactive, your score will stay flat. If you use over 10%, you start falling into the zone of score compression. This is a phenomenon where the algorithm starts compressing your score because they see signs of debt dependence. The true optimal threshold is under 5%, but greater than 0%. Why 5%? Because this is the point where diminishing returns start to kick in. If you keep your debt at 1 to 3%, the FICO algorithm sees you as a perfect user. You use debt, there is data, but you are so well off that you don't actually need to use it. Absolute safety. Imagine this 5% is like the amount of salt in a dish. No salt makes it bland. 0%, no score. Too much salt ruins the dish. 30%, score drop. 5% is the perfect balance to make your financial gift look most attractive to the banks. You will truly become the head chef of a one-star Michelin restaurant once you grasp the magic of this formula. Once you know about the 5% number, you'll be tempted to rush out and apply it. But be careful. This is where 90% of people fail due to the principle of self-interference before they even reach the magic gate and find the system lever. Back to Bull. Bull is driving a boat. He wants to speed up, open new cards to increase the limit, while also throwing an anchor, asking a relative to add his name to an old card to increase account age. The result is that your boat gets torn apart. Opening a new card causes a hard inquiry and reduces the average age of your accounts. If you do that 3 times in 90 days, you'll lose 20 to 30 points immediately, ruining all your previous efforts. This is the 5-step sequencing strategy, and it will become a major milestone on the map, leading you to that gate. Step 1. Remap the current state. Check all your cards and bring the total usage under 5%. Pay attention to the statement closing date, not the payment due date. This is the first mechanical lever. You swipe $2,500 for a new sofa, wait for the due date to pay it all off, but the next morning your credit score still tanks. The scoring system doesn't record a live video. It only takes one snapshot every month on the statement closing date, which usually happens 20 days before the due date. It caught the exact moment you owed $2,500. And that is the worst thing for a disciplined and meticulous person like you. Don't wait for the bill to arrive to pay it. Find the statement closing date and pay 3 to 4 days before that to force the balance below 5%. Your score will jump in the very next cycle. Step 2. Time compression. You're a rookie who wants to get into a VIP club, but the bouncer blocks the door. Your uncle, a VIP guest for 20 years, walks out, takes you by the hand, and you instantly get all his VIP privileges. That is exactly how the authorized user mechanism works. Have a relative with a 10 to 20-year-old credit card and a perfect payment history. Add your name to the account. That entire squeaky clean history will immediately be grafted onto your profile, helping you cheat decades of waiting in just a few weeks. This is completely legal and recognized by credit institutions and banks. You aren't a fraud or someone taking advantage of a loophole. You are someone who understands the rules of the game. It only feels impossible when no one around you has that dreamlike history. The financial system isn't trying to stop you from knowing this or using this. They just know that to achieve this, you really need a bit of luck and the knowledge to apply it. That's why some people know about it, but actually using it is not that easy. Step 3. Clean up inquiries. Wait at least 6 months between new loan applications to avoid hard inquiry scars. This is like you in your toughest moment, knocking on the doors of 5 different friends to ask for money, all in 1 week. Everyone will think you're going bankrupt and stay away from you. Banks think the exact same way. Applying for a bunch of new cards to increase your limit creates hard inquiries. 3 applications in 90 days will bite 20 to 30 points off your score and pull down the age of the profile you just worked so hard to build. Stop and wait at least 6 months between opening new cards. You don't want your hard work ruined just because you happen to open a bunch of applications like that. Step 4. Rapid rescoring strategy. If you need to buy a house right now, ask the lender to perform a rapid rescoring. They can update your score in 72 hours instead of waiting 30 days for the usual cycle. This is extremely important in helping you get the treatment you deserve, instead of having to wait according to the rules the financial institutions want you to play by. This is completely feasible and widely accepted today. Step 5. Expand limits. When your score is already high, request a limit increase on your current cards instead of opening new ones. This lowers your usage percentage without causing a new inquiry. If you pour 1 liter of water into a 2-liter bucket, the bucket is half full. But if you pour that 1 liter into a 20-liter drum, it's just a drop at the bottom. The usage rate is calculated by dividing your balance by your limit. Instead of breaking your back, trying to pinch pennies, make your drum bigger. Every 6 to 12 months, call the bank and ask for a limit increase on your existing card. They will use a soft inquiry, which doesn't take points away. The limit doubles, the usage rate automatically drops by half, and you don't have to pay an extra cent. And do you see? By having a systematic, polished execution sequence, from remapping the current state to time compression, cleaning up inquiries, rapid rescoring, and expanding limits, you have step-by-step drawn the map to the magic gate containing the lever to start the 5% machine for yourself. You aren't far from the winning point anymore. Why do we have to struggle over a few dozen credit points? Let me show you a real number, the financial stakes. Suppose you borrow $400,000 to buy a home for your family of 4 over 30 years. If your score is 680, your interest rate might be 7.5%. If your score is 780, thanks to the 5% system, your interest rate might only be 6.5%. Just a 1% difference? Look at the total. The difference in interest you have to pay over your lifetime is between $65,000 and $79,000. This amount is larger than many people's retirement accounts. This money could have helped you retire 5 years early, bought an investment fund for your kids, or been a savings account to take care of your parents. But instead, it is being silently and legally pulled from your pocket every month. It isn't an immediate pain like losing your wallet. It's a dull ache that eats up a quarter of your working life while you happily accept it. You are the dreamy bull in the field, mapped out by the crafty lender, and the pack of hawks always looking to tear you apart. I don't want you to just watch this video and leave it at that. We have a plan, and we need to make it a reality. And the fastest way is to practice, to put it into action. In fact, the best time to start this was 10 years ago, or right now. Let's do an action challenge together this week. In the next 24 hours, list all your credit cards, limits, and statement closing dates. In the next 48 hours, call a relative, the most financially disciplined person in the family, and bring up the idea of adding your name as an authorized user. In the next 72 hours, set an alarm on your phone calendar for 3 days before your statement closing date to pay down the debt, so the balance is exactly 1% to 5%. Apply this immediately to your upcoming plans to buy a house or a car. You will be surprised at your ability to control the system, and even better, pass this knowledge on to the people you love. When you help them save $79,000, you aren't just giving them money, you're giving them freedom. In the end, you need to understand one thing. In the modern world, the distance between 680 and 780 is not a distance of character or discipline. It is almost always a distance of information, of the systematic application of knowledge that already existed but was always hidden behind things that seem complex and hard to apply. The financial system is designed to reward those who understand the rules and punish those who only know how to work hard. Don't just be a hard worker. You work hard, you absolutely deserve better things, but upgrade yourself, upgrade your current version into a smart hard worker. Max and the bull in this story did it, and you will too. I'll see you at the peak of financial freedom. I'm Max, and this is our strategy. I'm not here to give you empty words or tips you can learn in 30 seconds from a YouTube short, and then forget like any other entertainment video. I'm here to dissect the root of the pain that has been weighing us down, the pain of interest rates, where a 1% difference drains so much of your effort. I hope the knowledge above helps you. Start applying it today and let us know what you think. I'll see you in other helpful videos. Peace.